afternoon to our Huron Education family. As always, I'd like to thank all of our parents and staff members who continue to share their feedback and perspectives related to the challenges of reopening our schools. As I've said from day one, the managing of public schools while in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, unlike anything any of us have ever had to experience, is going to be difficult at best. Plans are going to evolve and change as we learn more about the virus and how it impacts each community. Also from day one, our district has committed to following the recommendations and the guidance of health experts who are trained and have experience in managing public outbreaks of a disease. As I stated last week, Huron will follow a remote restart as recommended by the local health department. While this news has been devastating, I want to assure our families that I will make decisions that are aligned with the experts who are tasked with managing the COVID global pandemic. District officials will continue to meet at least bi-weekly with representatives from our local health agency with the intent to monitor circumstances related to the virus and getting back to on-site learning when it's recommended that our schools can open. Our plan remains. The school year will start Monday, August 31st. Since the recommendation to begin in a remote manner was issued, our initial thought was to bring students on campus for 2 weeks under a hybrid model. This was approved by the local health agency, and we communicated this last week. The rationale for this was to create an opportunity for our students to meet their new teachers, receive educational related equipment and supplies, and for our students with specific needs to meet face-to-face with their teachers. Upon further review of this strategy and talking to parents and staff, we're in the process of revising the first 2 weeks in an effort to address challenges and still provide an opportunity for students and teachers to make a face-to-face connection. Acknowledging, whatever we do, there will be questions and even concerns, and that's understandable. With that said, we are in the process of developing an introduction to remote learning and orientation for both students and our parents. This will take place during the week of August 31st and run through Friday, September 4th. Not only will the plan allow for the opportunity for students to meet their teachers and receive any educational equipment and supplies, but also allows an opportunity for the staff to assist our parents with the logistics of remote learning. After last spring's remote learning experience, feedback from our parents highlighted the district's need to better assist our parents on how to manage remote learning, how to access information, how to manage the learning platform, and to provide general assistance on how they can help their children when teaching and learning is occurring remotely. We think this strategy, an introduction to remote learning and orientation during the week of August 31st, will allow us to better prepare our students and our families for a remote start to the 2021 school year. The introduction to remote learning and orientation will consist of the following. It will provide our parents and our students time with staff, the opportunity to get to know one another. It will provide our parents an opportunity to receive assistance and guidance on how to manage remote learning. And finally, it will allow our students who need equipment the opportunity to be issued a Chromebook or any other school supplies. So what does the introduction to remote learning and orientation look like? During the week of August 31st, blocks of time will be scheduled in each building and by grade level for a student and one parent the opportunity to visit their school and to meet with his or her teachers. Groups will remain small and last approximately 1 hour. All visitors will be required to wear a face covering. If a student and parent cannot make the scheduled time, special accommodations will be made for those families. The introduction to remote learning and orientation will occur throughout the week of August 31st. This will take the place of a traditional open house and freshman orientation. But to be clear, we will not follow a hybrid schedule for the first 2 weeks as originally shared. While we want nothing more than to have our halls filled with children, we understand this is not recommended at this time by our local health experts. We feel the short introduction for students and teachers is vital to building a positive working relationship, especially when our restart is under a remote format. We also acknowledge the introduction to remote learning and orientation sessions may not meet the needs of everyone. We'll continue to work with our families to meet the individual needs of all to the best of our ability. Over the next several days, each building will communicate to the families the specifics along with meeting schedules. Remember, if the date and time provided is not convenient, we just ask that our parents contact their child's principal. Other important items, we mentioned this last week, that during remote learning, Huron Schools will continue providing weekly meal packs for those families in need. The district will also pay the $50 initiation fee to Buckeye Broadband for our Huron families who currently do not have internet access and they qualify as a low-income household. The district is seeking grant dollars to help us support this initiative. And finally, Huron City Schools is exploring an opportunity to partner with Second Harvest Food Bank to create a local food pantry for our entire community. I understand the changes related to reopening schools are nothing short of frustrating for all of us. While I wish it could be said that the changes would stop, we would be naive to think that this would be the case. I appreciate everyone's patience and willingness to provide constructive criticism and feedback. We'll continue to do our best to address every family's hopes, needs, and wishes. Feel free to contact me by email or by phone at any time to discuss the reopening of school or any school-related topic that you desire. Thank you. Go Tigers.